he murdered his pregnant partner, and a few days later, he took the life of a policewoman in broad daylight. He became the most wanted man in the state. When he was arrested, what would become his own nightmare began.
There's a true angel you put down because you're a pointless little fucking dog, okay? And my only regret is that you're breathing right now. You get what you got coming.
I thought you were ready to put up a fight.
I don't fear nothing, bitch.
You don't fear nothing.
Sade Dixon was his girlfriend, and she unknowingly foretold her fate by recording a video in Markeith Loyd's car.
Look, you ain't learned yet? It's raining. What? Take me home. This man's still trying to speed. It's raining outside, y'all. He's still trying to speed. Look.
Take me home.
For real, you not about to kill me and the baby. This man, he has to be stopped.
That simple comment, made as a joke, would turn out to be an ominous prediction of what would happen days later. Markeith would go on to shoot his then partner, because according to him, she smoked a lot of marijuana, and that could be bad for the baby. That thought led to an argument that ended with Sade dead and the brother seriously injured. However, that wouldn't be the last of the bloodshed. Days later, while he was on the run, he murdered a policewoman in cold blood who recognized him in a supermarket. Officer Deborah Clayton was ready to take him into custody when Loyd drew his gun and ended her life in cold blood. That would be the final nail in the coffin of this criminal, who once apprehended, began to live his own nightmare.
Man, I know y'all got a key to this shit, man. This shit killing him, bro. My hand's swelling up. Come on, man.
Sit down. Sit down.
Y'all made a kid, but y'all on some bullshit, bro.
Listen,
Sit down.
Sit down.
Right up.
Sit down.
You was on the cup.
Sit.
Bro, this tough up, bro.
Sit down. And do not get back up.
Could you do something to this cup, bro?
No.
The handcuffs were from the fallen officer, and they were so tight that they cut off his blood circulation. The cops wanted revenge, and from the very beginning, they showed him that he was going to have a bad time at the police station.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Awesome work. Awesome work. Good day.
Yep, it's a great day. And Deborah's handcuffs are on him?
Yep.
I gotta bite my lip.
All the evidence was stacked against him. There were eyewitnesses to the two murders, but he still maintained his innocence. He wouldn't give up.
Did she threaten you?
Yeah, she put a gun. Y'all know she put a gun. Y'all got the tape.
And is that why you did what you had to do?
Yeah.
So tell us what happened. If you're threatened, tell us what happened. This is your opportunity, Markeith.
This ain't my opportunity. You don't see me. You don't see how my blood over here.
That blood will heal. Those wounds are going to heal. Okay?
Ain't no nigga, I can't even open my eye.
That will heal. All of that is going to heal. What happened with Sergeant Clayton, that's a whole different story. Okay? Did she come at you and threaten you? Did you have to do what you had to do? Tell us why you did what you did. Was she threatening you when she was on the ground? When she's on her back and you're shooting her, were you feeling threatened?
Loyd's failure to cooperate was wearing down the detectives' patience. They didn't know what to do, and they went from speaking quite calmly to taking on the role of the bad cops and putting more and more pressure on the killer.
Markeith, you every time you have an opportunity to show that you're the man you talk about, that you're this friggin' badass you talk all that shit about how you ain't going down without a fight, and as soon as the officers confront you in the yard, you bow down like a bitch in body armor. So what are you now?
I ain't talking about being no badass. What the fuck you talking about?
You talking all this shit about how badass you are, but when the officers confront you at the house on Lescott, what'd you do?
Alright, man. Well, alright, bye.
You bitched out. So you get confronted by a female at the front door with your unborn child in her. What do? You light her up. Sergeant Clayton's trying to do her job and tell you what to do. What do? You hide behind a pillar and you light her up. Because you a bitch in body armor.
The interrogation was going nowhere, and the cops were so angry and out of patience that they decided to leave.
It was a true angel you put down because you're a pointless little fucking dog. Okay? And my only regret is that you're breathing right now. You get what you got coming.
Legendary. I thought you were really gonna put up a fight.
Ain't bad. I don't feel nothing.
You don't fear nothing.
You know what? Beat this case. Put me in the street. Beat the case. That's what you gotta do. Beat the case. Beat the case. Because there will be another day. And you know what next time is gonna happen? He's not gonna be Sergeant Clayton. He's gonna be somebody like me.
The situation at trial would be no different. In fact, it would be even more surreal because Markeith Loyd would use every possible tactic to get away with it.
Sir, you're here for the charge of murder of a...
There ain't no Markeith Loyd. Who are you?
All right, you're here for murder of a law enforcement officer,
claim
attempted murder of a law enforcement officer, carjacking with a firearm, aggravated
in the black
assault.
dress. May I have your name, please?
He was trying to prove in any way he could that the blame for everything that had happened lay with the victims, Sade Dixon and Deborah Clayton.
So Ron attacked you, and then you thought Sade had a gun, and that's why all the shooting took place.
Yes.
So it really wasn't your fault.
No.
My question to you is, none of this is your fault.
No.
In fact, you're really the victim here today, right?
Of course I am.
I have no more questions.
Markeith Loyd would eventually be sentenced with capital punishment for all the crimes he was charged with. That was the punishment that the justice system determined to be the most appropriate for the grave actions of this horrible criminal.